But this is the Legacy Series here on the High Frequency Radio Network. Somebody's hacking the thing. I got the same number 4 times in the queue, but we're good. I'm going to get into the topic, y'all. The topic is private banking. Some people may have heard of private banking. Some may have not. I do not speak on things that I do not demonstrate. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I don't give legal advice. I'm not a part of the U.S. government, no entity or anything like that. I do business in trust for the benefit of the family. And I do want to say, I was talking to a business partner of mine, associate of mine, and he brought it to my attention that although I say family, I want to be clear, I don't get into racism. So when I say family, I'm not talking about crayons and colors and, I don't care how much melanin you have in your skin. It's all about the spirit as far as I'm concerned. I don't get into that. They gave us racism so they can deal in classism. And I'm talking about up in my class, my family's class, my people's class. We need to step out of racism. Racism doesn't exist. Unless you allow it to, unless you accept that offer. So when I say family, I want you to know that encompasses all so-called colors of so-called skin. If you're true in your heart and your mind, if you are dedicated to improving the situation that you see before your eyes, we are family. You can dishonor me, you can deny me as a family member, that's cool. I still love you. For private banking, y'all, there's a really good book. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the title. Apologize not being prepared. I'm going to do this. I'm going to find the title for this book. It's a really good book. His last name is Nash. Can't remember his first name. So I'm going to look it up for y'all right now. And you can purchase this book. It's really a primer on the private banking system. If you haven't heard of it ever, if you don't know what it is, if you don't know how to get your head wrapped around the concept, his name is R. Nelson Nash. R. Nelson Nash. The book is called Becoming Your Own Banker. Unlock the Infinite Banking Concept. All right. You can get it on Amazon in paperback for $13.99. I think that's the cheapest I see it. It's all black on the cover. It's yellow, white, and bankers in red, and there's a dial on the cover for a safe on it. It's called Becoming Your Own Banker, R. Nelson Nash. Get your hands on that. As far as I'm concerned, that's required reading for private banking. So what is private banking? Private banking, ultimately, is establishing a system within your private estate that allows for financing of purchases outside of the public banking system. One of the big things is we capture interest that on money, currency, Federal Reserve notes or whatever, that we would otherwise lose by having it in the bank. Bank only pays, 2%? Not, I'm lying. 0.2%. Depends on if you got a CD or something. They'll give you some stupid, dumb interest that's like dishonoring your entire family for trying to give me this interest. Because with the bank, they collect interest and they only offer you a portion of the interest that they collect. But they're definitely making money on your deposit. We all know there's a fractionalizing the deposit. You know what? I don't even like that. I'm private. I may have some sort of national principles that's involved, and I don't really want to be a part of the public banking system. You get into private banking. So as a trustee of your estate, and that's what I'm saying, the caveat is, in my opinion, the requirement in order for this to go as smoothly as possible is that this is established through a family trust or a private family foundation with 501c3 tax-exempt status from the Internal Revenue Service. So that's a private family foundation, is in trust form, but is it designated a private foundation or a private family foundation with regards to the Internal Revenue Service. So these entities work best. Number one, the best entity, in my opinion, is the private family foundation. The second best runner-up is the family trust. And I'm going to get into that in a couple minutes as to why I'm saying that or why I said that. But ultimately, private family banking. Now, there's multiple ways you can do this. Specifically, I'm going to speak on insurance. Here we go. I'm going to speak on insurance. Now, you can do private banking with tangible assets. You can securitize these assets if you have a specific understanding. Trusts are very broad in the things that they can do in the public as well as in the private. Trusts can do a lot of things that LLCs can't do, corporations can't do, incorporations can't do, C Corps. The trust can do things that's like the Superman, of entities to use in the public. So insurance, when I say insurance policy, I'm talking about a life insurance policy for two reasons. And I'm private, so I'm talking about me. First, I'm going to say this. In insurance, the insurance policy is a contract between the insurer and the insured, known as the policy holder, which determines the claim which the insurer is legally required to pay, with both parties' consent, are part of the written policy. Life insurance is a contract. First thing I want to put this out. First and foremost, it is a contract. It's a private contract. It could be between two public entities. It could be between an individual and, the life insurance company. It could be between a corporation and a life insurance company. It can be from a trust and a life insurance company. It can be foundation life insurance. You get the idea, right? So life insurance is a contract. If you understand public versus private, you understand we're supposed to be contracting anyways. Bottom line, life insurance policies with regards to private banking is what the elite have used for centuries. I want you to do your own research. I want you to look and see that, as you figure it out, you do your due diligence and see how long the insurance industry has been operating. That's a little homework for you. The elite have used life insurance policies for private family banking for generations upon generations. Period. I don't care what you say. I'm stepping on toes, pancake your whole foot. You got Ronald McDonald feet. Not playing. That's why I said I'm only going to do this one time. I'm never going to speak as candidly about this subject in the public ever again. Now, specifically whole life insurance policies. I got a business partner that I work with. He deals with other types of policies. I'm not very familiar. I know whole life. I do not discuss things I do not demonstrate. Let me explain this to you. When it comes to a whole life insurance policy, it is a contract. Under the laws, write this down, Keyman Insurance, Keyman Insurance. This is a term, and this is the auspices for which we're acquiring these insurance policies. Now, the owner and the beneficiary is your family trust or your private family foundation. Why? Because the premium for the insurance policy are now the responsibility of the trust or the foundation, which many of us know. If the bill comes in the name of the foundation or the trust, that is an expense to the trust. It is deduction from the taxable income. I'm not even going to touch that. I'm just going to keep going, okay? Now, whole life insurance, my only issue. I don't want to work my entire life saving up money to pass on to my heirs, my children. I love my children to life. We all know, we're all parents. I'll step in front of a Mack truck for any of my children, and we'll stop it. I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna stop it with the shoulder. I'm gonna on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Because I turn into a bionic man when it comes to protection of my family. But at the same time, I'm not trying to, for lack of a better term, sacrifice anything that I don't necessarily have to. If I have a mind and the wherewithal to make a situation that's more positive and more conducive for my type of lifestyle and what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do. So bottom line, I'm not out here working for my children. Let me say it again. I'm not out here working for my children. I'm working for the benefit of my private estate, and my children are the beneficiary. But I'm not going to sit here and stack away all this money, not spend it, live like a peasant, so my children can be rich when I pass. That's ridiculous. I'm going to enjoy my life. Come in the life insurance. Check this out. Life insurance is an expense to the foundation. It's an expense to the family trust. Understand that if you have the proper trust set up, the trust is responsible for food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, retirement services. Life insurance falls under retirement services. So, in my opinion, when I'm capitalizing these life insurance policies through the trust, what I'm doing is the trust or the foundation is investing in a bank. When you invest in a business or a bank or anything like that, we understand that it takes about 5 years of growth, 5 to 7 years of growth and investment into the business before you can start taking capital or income off of the business. Same thing with a life insurance policy. At the 5th year, it gets crazy if you set it up correctly. Now, check this out. Because I'm selfish and I like to enjoy myself with the funds that, the value, the exchange, current, whatever you want to call it, that I create with the energy and creative forces that are endowed by my creator. I want to enjoy these things. So what do? First and foremost, life insurance policy upon my death does the disbursement of funds. The beneficiary is a family trust. Guess what happens? The successors come on at my death. They show the death certificate. The policy pays into the family trust. Guess what happens? Now, do I think that my heirs, my children, my successors are going to have an incentive to work together and stick together after I'm gone? Of course. Why? Because Daddy had like 5 or 6 life insurance policies and they all totaled over $7 million. I know that that's going to keep my family together. I know that the cause that I put in with regards to the charitable cause of the Private Family Foundation and the family cause with regards to the family trust is going to move forward, because I have made sure that upon my demise, there is a funding. It's ridiculous. Yo, they insure my life even though we are all guaranteed to die. Yo, the more I wake up and get my head wrapped around all this, the more I think it's crazy. Y'all know I went and bought some silver today? Gave the dude paper. He gave me silver. Boggling. Absolutely boggling. So the premiums are paid by the family trust or the family foundation. It is an expense to the trust or the foundation. So it's a deduction. Upon my death, the family trust or family foundation is funded with the amount of the policy. Check this out. You get one policy. When you can, you get another one. When you can, you get another one. When you can, you get another. My mentor with this, or one of my mentors with regards to this concept, one of his clients has over 100 life insurance policies on him in various trusts, foundations, so on and so forth. Over 100 life insurance policies to the tune of like $50-something million. Nah, my mentor has $50-something million of life insurance. This guy had like, if I remember correctly, close to $200 million in life insurance that was going to be dispersed upon his death. Great. So guess what? Beyond the things that I love to do for my family, which I do, I love spending, currency on my family. I love giving my family stuff. I love to see a receipt that I knew my parents couldn't handle and would have made them pass out. It just makes me feel good, because I understand that, just like vehicles, the newer generation of vehicle always have upgrades and really should be better than the previous generation. And I feel the same thing with family. And I tell my children, y'all better do better than me. And hopefully I don't have this big impeding shadow that I cast over them. I'm a little, sometimes who knows? I love my baby. So, as I'm living, as I'm doing my dance, being a normal father, I can do what I want, buy that yacht. I can buy or, purchase that SL, 600 Benz or whatever, and understand that, if I wreck the car and die in an accident, that there are multiple insurance policies that are going to fund not only my family trust, but my private family foundation. All right? Number 2, cash value. Understand this. And I got one of my policies out. This is the first policy I did. I was a little spooked. I was nervous, but, I'm the type of dude, even though I'm spooked or nervous, I'm still going to do it, because I don't want to be whooping myself up mentally later talking about I didn't do it. I'm my own worst critic. I'm really hard on myself. So my first policy was with, I'm going to tell you, American United Life Insurance Company. Now, if you want to get a policy, email me, man. Don't go at this alone. I got your back. We family. Email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. I'll get you in touch with my guy. I don't make any money off this. This is just me plugging you. I don't gain anything off this, but just knowing that you're good. That you're good. And that I helped another family, future-proof their estate. I'm serious. I don't have an insurance license. I can't sell insurance. I don't get any money. I don't get referrals. Nothing. I just want you to be set up. So I'm not going to push you into anything that you don't need, because, if y'all know me, y'all know I don't do that. I give you exactly what you want. And I give you exactly what you need. So, like I said, admin@welcometothefoundation.com if you want to, get into this. I will definitely hook you with my guy. He's a great dude. He's a nice dude. He's very happy because he used this system to get out of over $1 million in debt in like 30-something months, and he was a chiropractor. Now he flies around in planes all over the country in his own private plane. Well, I'm sure it belongs to his foundation, but he flies around the country giving, speeches and seminars to private groups of individuals who have the capacity for this information. I just so happen to be one of those individuals, and because I am, so are you, because that's love. Cash value. Check this out. So I'm looking at one of my policies right here. This policy was the first one I did. I was a little spooked. I was like, what's the premiums? Well, you can do $20,000 a year. You can do $10,000 a year. You can do $30,000 a year. I'm hearing these numbers and I'm going crazy. I come from poverty. I come from roaches. I didn't bring people to the crib from school because I was embarrassed. You know what I mean? My dad didn't go to the laundromat. I used to have to wash my clothes in the tub. I know what it's like to be broke. And I understand $10,000 is a lot of money, B. That's a lot of money. It's scary doing something different. But like I said, I'm the type of person that I'm scared and nervous. I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? That's just the way I am. So I pulled the trigger on the $10,000 a year policy, which means there's $10,000 of premiums paid into the policy per year. I split it up into quarterly. So it's $2,500 every 3 months. Quarters go, January, February, March is the first quarter. April, May, June, second. July, August, September, and then October, November, December. So those are the 4 quarters of, the commercial year. So each quarter, on the 15th, there's $2,500 that's due on the premium for this policy. Okay? Now check this out. Of the cash value, which is the premiums that are paid into the policy, about 80% is available in the form of a loan. Now, let me back up a little bit. So the full amount, of the premiums that you pay in, they compound at 4% interest guaranteed in this policy, the one I have. So when I'm adding premiums, $2,500, all those premiums are compounding at 4%. After a year, there's $10,000 in premiums paid into the policy. Correct? Out of that $10,000, I, as a trustee, on behalf of the foundation or the family trust, am able to borrow against the cash value of the policy at 6% interest. All right? So there's a check written to the foundation of the trust. The foundation of trust does whatever it wants to. It can create a loan for 9% interest, 12% interest, and give it out. And a private family foundation can generate income from investments tax-free. So you at least, if you have a foundation, if you're looking to get in the foundation, whatever, you want to put a policy in your foundation. I mean, it's silly not to, especially when you're dealing with the key man insurance. And if you're dealing with the system of interrelating trust, you're pretty much automatically going to avoid bumping up the private annulment laws, bumping up against those. Hey, you can't privately benefit for, but hey, if I take a loan from my private family foundation, from the policy, and then it's at 6% interest, which means, the foundation has to pay the loan back plus 6% interest. Not only is that interest, that 6%, captured and added into the cash value of the policy, so you capture interest that you will otherwise lose by having your money in a bank or in a shoebox in your closet. But let's say I did a year, okay? So $2,500. I did 4 quarters. $2,500 at $10,000. I take out, because roughly you can borrow against the cash value about 83 to 87%. So $10,000 in premiums. After that year, there's a cash value of a little over $8,000. In this specific policy, your policy may vary. So that means after that fourth premium is paid after 30 days, we can borrow against that cash value of $8,000 at 6%. Now, the private family foundation can offer a loan to the family trust at 7%. The family trust goes and buys a vehicle, titles it in an asset protection trust. It pays back the loan at 7%. So it's a loan payment with 7% interest. These are all, it's an expense to the trust, so it's a deduction. And then the interest that you would otherwise lose to a bank is being captured in the policy, and it's going towards cash value. And even if I have $10,000 in this policy and I take out $8,000, it's compounding at 4%. Even if I took out $8,000, it's still compounding at the $10,000 at 4%. Y'all hear what I'm saying? In this situation, you make more money giving it away than you do keeping it. And the repayment of the loan is a deduction to the trust or foundation. I'm just going to take a moment to style this real quick. If you have it in the private family foundation, an individual, so anyone who does a 1041, can donate up to 30% of your gross annual income and receive a charitable deduction on your taxes. So let's say, I work a job, whatever. I heard Sot's show, So L. He was doing his dance. I just, I don't know. It was a song about his brother, man. I just had to hit him up. Got a conversation with the brother, right? Got my hands on a family foundation. I wasn't maybe necessarily interested in the trustee training, whatever. Just because I'm a W-2. I'm a surgeon. I don't know. You can't really do surgery through trust. But, I make $100,000 a year. $30,000 a year of that $100,000. I can donate to my private family foundation. That's $30,000. So let's say that could be a $30,000 a year premium for a life insurance policy, right? I'm just saying this, right? I'm going to receive a charitable deduction, not only a deduction of $30,000. So my gross income went from $100,000 to $70,000. The taxable, my bad. Went from $100,000 to $70,000, and I get a charitable deduction on the 1040. You make more money giving it away than you do keeping it in this specific scenario, specifically using a private banking. Also, and this is critical, I don't know if you've ever went and tried to finance a car, finance a vehicle or something, they got the application there, and maybe took second, third, fourth page into the application, they ask if you have any insurance policies. You have life insurance? Do you have any death insurance listed here? I know somebody's out there like, yeah, man, I know what you're talking about. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because the face value, which means the death benefit. This is policy death benefit. It's net death benefit $652,986. This one policy right here, the death benefit. So if I was to die today, man, $652,986 will be cut to the the family trust. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Yo, how much I paid into this one? Maybe a little less than $20,000. Imagine how I feel getting on airplanes right now. I used to get spooked, like, man, my family needs me. I mean, I still feel, a certain way. That stuff is, I don't know. The voice was flying over the ocean, man. But I know that if anything were to happen to me now, I've set up my estate properly. I have ensured that if anything were to happen to me, my family would have the means and the wherewithal and the capital to replace me, to go out and hire a professional manager or something and make it beneficial for them because of the amount of wealth that would be in my estate just off of me dying. Corporations take out life insurance on their executives, their CEOs, all the time. Some of you have a corporation that took out life insurance on you. Not your family or anyone is going to receive the death benefit, especially when you're dealing with executives. They need that money to go out and hunt and pay for another executive, to replace that executive. That's why it's called key man insurance. The same thing we're doing with our private estate. Key man insurance. After 5 years, obviously, the cash value in this policy I'm looking at, I'm in my policy. I'm in the illustration. There's a guaranteed scale. There's a non-guaranteed scale. In the guaranteed scale, it tells you the guarantee, and this is what I'm reading from. There's a midpoint scale, and then there's a current scale, so based off of what's currently happening and what they, could pay out. I don't like looking at anything that's not guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So looking at the guaranteed scale, after 5 years, the annualized premium outlay is $10,000 a year. The cumulative premium after 5 years, obviously, is $50,000. The cash value of the policy is $38,874. So imagine this. I have a private family foundation, right? I make $100,000. I got a $30,000 policy. I charitably donate $30,000 every year to my private family foundation. I receive a charitable deduction, right? Do it for 5 years. This is what the elite do. This is what the rich do. After the 5th year, just say in this policy, there's $38,874. I need a vehicle, right? Take out the policy loan, $38,000, purchase the vehicle, straight out, no notes, no car payments. Now the foundation is responsible for the premiums as well as the loan on the policy, right? But am I not gifting $30,000 a year annually? Receiving a charitable deduction on my gift because I'm doing it, I got the policy in the private family foundation. Run this through your mind. I'm receiving a charitable deduction on the money that I'm gifting to my foundation, that I'm using to capitalize the policy, and then in turn, turning around and borrowing the money out, purchasing a vehicle straight up. Driving around in this vehicle all off of money that I gave away. The elite make more money giving it away than they do by keeping it. And this is how. You hear about these rich people giving away $400 million, $500 million, so on and so forth. More times often than not, they are giving that to their own private family foundation. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Mark Zuckerberg Foundation, Carnegie Foundation. Now, this scenario, it works with the family trust, too. It's just you don't get a charitable deduction for anything that you give to the trust. The gift exclusion is $14,000, which means you can give $14,000 to the trust. It's still included in your taxable income, but it's not included in the taxable income of the trust. But if you have a business trust or an LLC or something making money and using your system of interrelating trust, obviously the family trust has enough money to do a policy, do the policy. It's a private contract. It's a life insurance contract. You're the trustee of the family trust. You are the trustee of the foundation. Does the policy loan need to be paid back? If it's not paid back, they just deduct the loans from the payout amount at death and disperse the rest. I don't know. If my policy is going to pay out $652,986, and I know there's an open policy loan of $50,000, even if I never ensure that loan is paid back, I know that my family will receive $602,986 after the deduction for the policy loan. That's if I take $50,000. More often than not, you're going to pay back the loan because paying back the loan is an expense and a deduction to the trust or the foundation. It reduces the taxable income. This is definitely some, I would say, advanced trustee administration. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much stuff that I want to say, but I cannot say it in the public. And not just with regards to this. Y'all know I've been doing this for a while. I've been on high frequency. In a couple months, it'll be 2 years I've been on high frequency. It's crazy how time flies. I've met a lot of people. I've mentored under a lot of people. I've taught a lot of people. I've come across a lot of information, stuff, protocols, so on and so forth. I cannot say it in the public. I'm not going to say it in the public. But the things I do say in the public, I know you can pick up on. It would be irresponsible for me to say everything that I know in the public. Public and private don't mix. But I want y'all, download this episode in your archives. Check this out because I'm not playing. This is legit. This is real. And if you understand what I'm saying, you understand this concept, you're going to understand how powerful your estate is once you go private. I mean, the trust has the power to value things, assets, tangible, intangible, and create money or currency just based off the value that the trust placed on these items in trust. This stuff gets super deep, super duper deep. This is the foundation. I really, really thought about doing this episode, like I said, because this is kind of advanced, but I know y'all got this. I know y'all hear what I'm saying. And I know if you don't hear what I'm saying, you're going to rewind it until you get what I'm saying. At the very least, grab that book, Becoming Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash. It's a small investment to understand a concept that I'm telling you these wealthy people do not want you to know. In my travels, I've met plenty of people, brothers, sisters, people who look like me, people who don't. I can count. It's less than 2 hands. So it's less than 10. But I've had a number of people tell me to stop talking and that I should stop talking. I had a brother try to spook me and I should be concerned for my welfare. Actually, I'm not, because my estate is not in shambles, and if anything were to happen to me, I know that things will go on. I'm worth at this point with these insurance policies. I'm probably worth more dead when you're dealing with Federal Reserve notes than alive. I'm just playing. They want you to think like that. My life is priceless, but this is serious, and I definitely want to bring that to y'all. I know current events were a little late. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. Y'all can ask me a question and you need some clarification. If it was confusing, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Maybe sometimes a stupid answer, but phone lines are open. 424-222-5250, 563-999-3625. Here on the foundation, I'm just trying to get y'all set up with your foundation, man. I'm not building your walls. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing your attic. I'm not going to help you, you know what I mean? Upgrade the carpet. None of that. I'm here for your foundation. If it's solid enough, you will have a very solid platform to catapult off of. Everything becomes streamlined, simple, and easy. That's what it is. So I'm going to go to the phone line. First caller. They got Got a nice amount of people in Switchboard. I sent out an email blast today. I think that's what happened. If y'all got the email blast, tell me what you thought. You probably like Sot whatever, man. It's a stupid email blast. I get those all the time. Don't unsubscribe from my email list. I'll come get you. First caller. Private 000000.
Peace. What's the deal? This Dale from Brownsville. How you doing, still, L?
I'm doing well, Dale. How you doing, man?
I'm all right with that, That's good. I'm glad you're right. I'm glad the family's all right. I'm just checking in with you with that. I'm going to let you take the next caller, all right?
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Peace and love. I appreciate you, too.
Peace and love, Daryl, man.
That's right.
That's my brother Daryl, y'all. Been down since day one, like negative day 5. Daryl from Brownsville. Shout out to my brother Daryl. Peace. Next caller, 925-2686. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How you doing, man? This is Brian.
Doing well, brother. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? Peace.
How you doing, man? Only thing I was gonna say, I appreciate what you always doing, and I'm blessed I'll be able to, talk to you on the private side. I'm glad I actually did because I'm picking up a lot of stuff. But about this, it's very funny because I know that people should really, I'm no expert in that, but I was studying about this because I was about to be a life shooter, a life agent, selling people on that. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that people don't realize you get to do. And then on top of that, if people do it on their children when they're very young, they can do it at that rate, and that rate will never change because you're doing it on the child at a very young age. Instead of people talking about they put all their money in college funds, this is your child's college fund, and it's ensuring their life.
Right.
If you want to have them go to college.
Absolutely. You can insure your child at 5 years old. By the time they're 20 years old, they got enough cash value in that policy to go to college. You don't got to do student loans or anything like that. Absolutely.
Or they could decide to do a business and not have to worry about it, And then the other thing I was thinking about is for people when they get older, and this is assuring you on that because your family don't have to never think about none of this stuff. I'm tired of seeing our people sitting up here. Oh, we gotta do these, these wash to raise money, because we didn't have no money for the, to protect the family from if a person died. And the last thing I would say is when people are getting older, people don't think about this, but when you get older, you could put things in the policy that this money goes to me in case I get to a point where I need to be taken care of. And so you could be taken care of and have people come in your house and taking care of you instead of having to rely on your children if you don't think your children are capable of just doing that. So, that's what I know from what I've been studying when I was learning that. But like I said, I'll talk to you on the private side, but I appreciate you putting this out and putting all the information out. I'm always thankful to listen to this. I try to listen to them as much as I can, and that's all. And peace to the trustees.
Yeah, peace to the trustees. Oh, man. So, and here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up because, one policy could be for your retirement, like he was saying, if you want, home care, you don't got to worry about your family, put you in a old folks home or whatever. You can have a significant amount of cash value saved up or available in this policy. Just pull it out. And then, hire a nurse or hire, a company that comes to take care of you in your own home. And then once again, all the money that you use, if it's not paid back, it's just deducted from the death benefit, upon death. So it's not like you're taking money out of anyone's pocket technically. But, yeah, absolutely. And, one policy could be for retirement, such as that. You can have another policy strictly for vehicles, maybe 2, if you got multiple children. Another policy strictly for properties, and so on and so forth. And I would definitely recommend, getting policies on your children, getting policy on your brother and your sister. You want to over-insure yourself. I want, my thing is I'm going to get in contact with some underwriters, in the next 10 years. This is my goal. And, look to get a policy, and they come back and say, "I'm sorry, Mr. L, you're overinsured. We can't insure you anymore. You have too many policies." That's like my point, because in my opinion, you can't have too many policies unless there's no way to afford them. So yeah, I really like that. I like that. I'm glad you said that, Brian. Yeah, you can definitely. The sky's the limit for what you can use these policies for, and the way you provision them. Absolutely, sky's the limit. So yeah, appreciate you adding that, man. Really do. Tell me some more. Brian.
Oh, I thought I was on mute.
Nah, man, tell us
more.
All
right. Well, the other thing I could always say is that you already said about the family and stuff, right? But then also the thing that people don't realize, when you do die, you don't have to get taxed on that, because the government is prevented from that. Because at one point they were thinking about trying to tax people. People complained about that. It's like, you tax me for everything else, you can't tax me when I die. So if you do it this way, it goes to your family, and if you do it the right way, you have it so your children know exactly how to do and what to do. Because all we do is transfer into them. And then, as far as what you're talking about, I was thinking about how long they've been around. They've been around forever, the life insurance. At one point, they used to have ones that were owned by, people with melon, and some of them still do. But that was one of the ways that people actually start teaching their people how to, have their money be passed on for their family, because there was a lot of quote unquote black companies that were into this thing. I don't know if there is as many, and I even know at one point the government was they'll like do the insurance for just burial, because they didn't want people knowing about this. So a lot of our people would get burial insurance and not realizing that they should have did the whole life. And then when it comes to term, people talk about doing term. Term is not good, because the thing is, as you get older, if you want to think about that way, as you get older, you're going to have more ailments and stuff. And so if you try to do it, that money you would have is not going to be able to go back into it, because when you do it at that one level, wherever society, wherever payment is, it stays that way, because you're always going to pay it. So it doesn't fluctuate on your payments, or less how much you want to put in it. So, that's one thing I can think of right now. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Nah, that sounds good. I never went, I didn't take any classes or anything. I just studied this intensively on my own. A lot of people were getting burial insurance and stuff. I read about that when they should have been getting the whole life insurance. A lot of times, term insurance is pushed because, and term insurance is, these other insurance packages and products are pushed because the brokers, the people who sell them, they make like 60% more commissions by pushing a policy other than whole life. I sat down with a sister from Primerica. Shout out to anybody if you deal with Primerica. Only one thing I got to say to y'all, and listen. If I'm gonna sit there and listen to you for 40 minutes, man, and I don't interrupt you or anything, you know what I mean? And I get to talking about something else, and you cut me off talking about I'm uninformed. First of all, you're presumptuous and assumptuous. But it's like the lady with Primerica, she was talking about term, and I was asking her about whole, and she just didn't want to hear it. Didn't want to hear it, and I understand that. The guy that I deal with predominantly with these policies, he says it. He's like, I take a commission cut up to 60% when I do these policies. But he's like, I don't care, because, the reason why I'm doing it is to take care of people, and he's a Christian. He's a Christian. There's some Christians I get along with, like, some Buddhists I get along with. There's even some police officers I get along with. You know what I mean? As long as they, they ain't looking for me or whatever. But it's important to know what in not only your best interest, but in the best interest of your family, of your private estate, of your trust. Like, what is the reason? Who benefits? is really the question that you should be asking yourself when someone is trying to sell you something. Seriously. So, yeah, definitely, these other policies aren't, they're definitely not, in my opinion, as conducive with your private estate as a whole life insurance policy is. So, absolutely. And yeah, the death check, the death benefit check is not taxable because it's the execution or the consummation of a contract. Not the consummation because that's at the beginning. It's it's the execution of a contract. So it's it comes out as different. Like you were saying, Brian, like I said, you probably know more about this than I do, specifically as far as insurance products go. But no, it's not taxable. It's a powerful tool, and I definitely did this episode with that in mind. You can never say I never said this, and no one can ever say that I never said this. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It's definitely something that you want to work towards when you go private. First and foremost, the first two things you do as a private individual, as a private man or woman or whatever, is you become your own bank. And how you do that is, number one, by holding and controlling real money, precious metals, and by executing life insurance contracts. That's stage one of being private. Once you're private, that's the first two things you go knock out. If it's not, I'll pray for you, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of people want to go private. And I'm going to take all this time going private. I'm going to spend all this time studying going private and do all these different things, when really going private is the first thing you need to do. Second thing you need to do is become your own bank. And, a lot of us say you're a private banker when you have 500 ounces of silver and more, or the equivalent, as far as gold. But, I'm saying silver all day. Y'all know me. I'm a silver head. So, which is a monster box. If you're doing the Silver Eagles, you get it from the mint. It comes in this big green plastic bin. I've seen them at the store. I'm telling on myself, man. Just blew my spot up. But, they come in big green plastic boxes, man, and there's 25 tubes. A tube is 20 ounces in a tube. There's 25 of them in there. One of the first things you do when you go private. Start on becoming your private bank, which is 500, and get life insurance contracts. Some policies, get them popping. And if you're older and you're concerned about the premiums being exorbitant or out of reach, I'm sure you got a niece, a nephew, a daughter, a son, a grandbaby, or something. Get it, put it on them. Yes, you can do that. Yeah, if they consent. If they don't have a problem with it, you can get a life insurance policy. Don't kill them. It ain't gonna work. Plus, we all about love. We honorable. But for real, I'm not playing. Especially in your family. If that individual consents, yes, you can put a life insurance policy on in the name of the trust. But here's the big thing, and I'm gonna say this, live on the air. We're streaming right now. My bad. I should have told y'all to call in. Y'all got cut off. But like I said, if they consent, you can put a life insurance policy on. And here's the thing with your family trust and your family foundation, you want the owner and the beneficiary of the policies to be the trust. And you can do that, just, they'll send you a chain of beneficiary and a change of ownership. Just fill them out. A lot of times they're going to want, the public declaration of your private, entity or a copy of it. And that's fine. That's fine. The bank's already seen this, so, that's fine. But, yeah, the trust is the owner and the beneficiary. You know what I'm saying, right? Because if the bill comes in the trust name, then it is a trust expense, right? It's all about substantiation. Man, I want this to turn into trustee training. But yeah, Brian, man, you got anything else, man?
The only other thing I was going to say is, hello?
Yeah, man. You on air?
Oh, yeah. Only thing I was going to say is this. Another thing you could think about is that, let's say, like you was going with the family thing, right? Let's say if you got a relative that you know that is going to... Hello?
Yeah, man. You live.
Oh, my fault. So say you got a relative that, who might be... You're not concerned. You're concerned, but maybe they're not going to be here, or maybe they on the... they doing... out there doing whatever, living that life. Well, put one on them, and then you could ensure that they kids, if you want to, that's what I'm saying, if you think of family-wise, you can make money off of that, and then make sure that their children can be okay if you want to take to that. But
Brian, say that again, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
Please
I'll say this again. So, if there's a person, a relative, over here doing what they got to do, hustling, whatever, if you concerned with that family that like is your brother, children, whatnot, instead of just like, man, you could put that money on that person, and then what happens is you could fund it like a bank in his name, kind of like what Sot was saying, because you control it, and then like what he's talking about, take it to the trust, the trust control it. Then when it comes down to it, and his family, he end up, I'm not, you don't want that to happen, but let's say he does end up, losing his life in that game. Then those children, or let's say it's your sister or whatnot, it's gonna be fine because you have done what you needed to do to protect them with a life insurance. Because the thing is, nobody. It's kind of like how he says a contract and everything. Like they always said when you start really reading it, because I know I've been looking at this. Everything in this society is about a contract. It even makes sense. It makes sense when they say your word is your bond. I never tripped off of that until I started really reading. I said, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So you can dictate what happens to that because you put that money in there. And then, like he said, all the stuff he's been saying, you can control it that way. So that person end up dead or something, guess what? Y'all don't even have to deal with it. So it makes sense to do that if you have the funds to do it. And, I'll tell people to do that.
That was...
you got a crazy company.
Profound. That's profound.
Glad you like that.
I want to thank you on behalf of the audience for saying that, man. Because you can say it's callous. You can say it's lack of empathy. You can say it's trying to cash out on the negatively instilled nature of our people from society or whatever. Bottom line is that is some powerful information. If you have someone in your family cutting up, you know what I'm saying? They in that game, they selling drugs or jacking dope boys or whatever. They pimping or whatever they doing. And they about that life. And we know statistically those in that life don't really live that long. As an elder, I'm going to put a life insurance policy on you. I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that. And I'm glad you said that because that's one of the things that my mentor says in his presentation. But I didn't want to come, I'm concerned about how I come off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to think that I'm just extra commercial because I'm really not. But, man, look. If anything happened to them, at the very least, there's something positive coming out of that negative, traumatic experience. in the life of the entire family, your entire family gonna feel that. You don't know what it's like to have your family member just sit there and look off the side of the porch and just say, oh, man. And a positive, whether you say, oh, it's Federal Reserve notes, it's fiat, blah, blah, blah. You put an insurance policy on the dude. That's money that can be used to build within that family. That's money that can be used to initiate a charitable cause, to bring awareness to these issues that we have going on in our community, which is going to happen. It's been happening. And think about this. Do you think they'd be out there popping on people like they were and like they are and like they have been if we started popping up with life insurance policies on us? Do you know the insurance companies would cause a ruckus if half of our people that was murdered by these police out here had life insurance policies on them? Do you understand that would be one of the quickest way to get this thing flipped over? They're going to stop killing us because, we are losing millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. You have to stop shooting those people. To me, it just makes economic sense. And in this war of the worlds that we fighting, whether you know it or not, there's many fronts that you got to bring the battle to. And the economic front for this economic system is one of the illest ways you can hit them. So, you know what? I really, really appreciate that you said that. I guess the ancestors wanted that to be said. And this is how you can move forward powerfully out of tragedy as a family to do and affect change. Maybe just in a small community, maybe in a larger community, maybe worldwide. Because things need to stop. And until we get serious with our legacy, until we get serious with our foundation, we're going to keep doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result from Congress, or expecting a different result from a senator, or expecting a different result from a mayor, or expecting a different result from a president, or expecting a different result from a representative or a legislator or something of the sort. Craziness is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result every single time. I didn't even mean to get this deep on this episode, yo. I like to keep it light. But I appreciate you, Brian. I appreciate you saying that. And I appreciate you, definitely adding to the topic, because you definitely brought valuable information to the platform, man. So peace on that. And I think it's just another way to change our perspective about life. We have companies out here that will take little amounts, in my opinion, of Federal Reserve notes and pay out large amounts when something happens to me that is going to happen anyway. For the benefit of my family, for the benefit of my private estate. I think it's time to get smart. And I think it's time for us to incorporate certain aspects, standard operating procedures, ideologies, and paradigms into this new foundation, into our legacy. Because without that, this stuff is just going to be repeating, and it's just going to keep degenerating. Society is going to continue to degenerate. I'm not trusting the corporation to tell me how to raise my children. I'm not trusting the corporation to tell me what to eat. And I'm not trusting the corporation on how to be out here in the world. I don't care if that's the Public Broadcast Corporation, the General Mills Cereal Corporation, or any other type of entity or government, quasi, whatever, do your dance corporation you want to pop off about. I do this show to bring value into your life, to hopefully kick the battery out the back of this old model that we have been clinging to so long, to let it just go to a stop, so we are forced to look up and look around and be like, at least be like, what's going on? And hopefully I've done that. Once again, peace, Brian. Thank you very much. I've gone over, more than I wanted to. But I'm gonna end the show right here. I know we got more callers in the queue. I apologize. Please don't hate. I love you. How can you hate someone who loves you? That doesn't make any sense to me. But no, seriously. Foundation Legacy Series for me is a culmination of major fundamental shifts in the way we think about our family, about our energy, which we convert to money or whatever, and about our legacy. And I trust that this, episode of the Foundation was fruitful for you, to you. I give this to you and to your family, that we can all do better together. It's going to take changing in the way we think. And it's going to, even beyond that, take changing in the things that we do. But if we can change both those things, automatically our quality of life changes, our emotional state changes, physical state changes, and our mental state changes. Financial state changes. Everything changes. Believe, begin, become. Can't say that enough. It is what it is. You got to believe first. You don't believe that you can dive in the pool, you'll never try, so you'll never dive. You don't believe you'll dunk, you'll never try to dunk, so you never will. You don't believe that you can, get the job you wouldn't have went to the interview. If you didn't believe you could start your company, you would never try. A lot of people say belief is a lower degree. I disagree. And it's necessary. And if it is a lower degree, I definitely conceded that. Sure. But is it not a degree nonetheless? These things we need to attain. That's why I don't really like college. All this time to get one degree. There are 360 degrees in the circle. So, regardless of what you're doing, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You can fix it. You can change it. You can make it better. And more than likely, sooner than you think. It first and foremost starts with changing the way you think. And believe it or not, a lot of y'all cats think weird because y'all listen to some really terrible music, man. Y'all ain't listening to jazz or, chill instrumentals. Y'all listen to some trap music. That stuff affects your mind state. Your mind is the most expensive real estate on the planet. Treat it like that. Not everybody's welcome. Not everything is welcome. And you're being bombarded with the advertisements all the time. from what to do, what to buy, what pills to pop, so on and so forth. Take control of your mind. Start thinking different things so we can start doing different things. Because I know this to be true because I did it. If you grind how most won't, you'll eventually live how most can't. And that's just the way it is. I do want to say peace to everyone who's checked out this show thus far, all the live listeners. I want to say peace to everyone who checks out this show in the archives, the foundation. I want to say peace to anyone who I've dealt with in private and who's gotten a consultation. I want to say double peace to the trustees. Big ups to Big Brother Yusuf L, High Frequency Radio Network, highfrequencyradionetwork.com. Honestly. Because that dude's the man. But so are you. And if you're a woman, then you're the woman. And if you don't care, then it doesn't matter. But you are really dope. There's something very, very special about you. And I know it. And I need you to know it. We can do this. Foundation Legacy Series Private Banking. Be sure to rewind this episode, listen to it as many times as you want until you get it. Be sure, if you need to, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Do private trustee training, consultations, so on and so forth. But this show right here, this is my charity. Every single week, you're on High Frequency Radio Network. Be sure to go to welcometothefoundation.com, sign up for the email list, check out the PDF section. You find all the, social media sites and whatnot. And just know that I appreciate, you checking out the show, and I appreciate you investing in your own private education. And if nobody sees what you're doing, I know what you're doing. And I got your back. So, with that being said, make sure you check me out next week. Y'all know I'm here every single Wednesday for the foundation. And I really love doing this for y'all. Y'all enjoy yourself. Y'all take care of yourself. Y'all love yourself. And smile. And with that being said, I'll check y'all next week. Y'all be safe. Keep studying. Peace to God.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.